Hi guys, Elena is here and I forgot to film an intro for you, so we're just gonna jump into this video. So here we go, you guys. Little plant tour in my grow tent. That's where I spend a lot of time on Thursdays usually, watering all of my plants, and that's where I also grow cuttings for you guys. I guess let's start with this shelf right here, which is have Anthuriums, and they are kind of taking over my grow tent because they are huge. So here is one of them. Such a beautiful textured foliage, and I think it's crinitum. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this is absolutely beautiful Anthurium. It does need ton of humidity. It will not survive in regular household humidity. It's literally wilted overnight sitting on my counter, so it's only have to live in my grow tent. Another Anthurium right here is crystallinum. Very beautiful Anthurium, very veiny. It is going to bloom. They bloom for me all the time, but unfortunately I have to cut off the blooms because as soon as I touch them I break out in hives, but foliage doesn't bother me at all. And right here, this is my favorite Anthurium out of all of them, surprisingly, because when I bought it, I didn't even know what it was. But this is Anthurium partilla Dream. It is gorgeous. The foliage is insanely large on it. This is a new leaf right here, which is still very, very soft. They size up pretty fast. Another one I have right here is Anthurium Bessie. Very pretty, very glossy. Only have one leaf, but it's working on another one. I don't really pay too much attention to them. And then another one I have is Forgetii White Stripe. Very pretty. I like the foliage that it just round. And I think the last one I have here is Vichii. And this one, when I bought it, it was so teeny tiny. And it's still small, but it's growing. It's doing fine. They are taking up a ton of space here. I don't think I will be purchasing Anthuriums anymore. And right here I have my Hoya Clemenciorum. She is beautiful. I purchased her a while ago. You've seen it in one of my videos with just this one leaf. And she has grown quite a bit leaves for me, and she's working on some new ones. So, and she's a little bit sun stressed. So those spots right here, these are sun stressed spots because she was sitting in this corner before, right underneath the light. So I kind of moved her a little bit farther, but she is beautiful. And right here I have some Hoyas that I kind of need to, I guess, pay a little bit more attention to, but they are here. Like right here I have Hoya Valiniana. This is just a reverted cutting from my variegated Valiniana, so I just cut it off and just growing her as a green Hoya. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one. So, and right here, my Crinkle 8, you've seen it. It was pretty big plant that was blooming for me, but I chopped her up and still deciding what I'm gonna do with that. Probably cut her up and share with you guys. There's some philodendrons right there, and this Hoya right here, it's Flavida, and since I got her, she has never done well for me no matter what I did with her. She's just still looking kind of sickly. I think I just got a bad clone, so just kind of observing her. And right here, what I have is a bunch of Hoya snowballs. They are so cute. They are so big. But this is my second clone, you guys. You know that I have two clones of this Hoya, and I love them so much. And this is the second one that I was showing you. It's a little bit darker, but it's also just as beautiful. I chopped her up to pieces, so I have some cuttings here. I just have to sort them out and make better cuttings out of them. And at some point, maybe I will list them for you. So I have some philodendrons here. This is Ring of Fire, and it's variegated one. Pretty good variegation, looks pretty good. I moved them here because they were getting way too much light. That's why the foliage is not as pretty as it could be. But they are cool. I might just keep one and get rid of the other one, and I have one more upstairs in my dining room. And right here I have this box, you guys. I just throw stuff in there. I might look at it maybe once a month. So I guess let's open up and see what's going on in there, because I don't even know myself. Here's what I have here. A bunch of cuttings of different types of plants that I just throw in there, and they just grow. They're doing their own thing. This right here is Hawaiian pothos. I chopped it up, my bigger plant, and just threw a stick in there. So just a bunch of little things that I need to kind of address at some point. Basically what I do here every Thursday, I sit on this fluffy little chair, I pull one of those trays down, put on the floor, and I just water them for many hours, because I pick up every single one of them and look at them and water them. So right here, that's where my bigger Hoyas are. Here is Hoya rotundiflora. Here is Hoya alliona. Right here is Hoya EPC 207. Just getting pretty big, gorgeous foliage. There's some new leaves right here. They are beautiful. Hoya Kalimantan Kelting. This is my Hoya minutiflora. She's still tiny. She's kind of a slow grower, but she's cute. Finlandsoni Chicken Farm. This is just a cutting that I took from my plant because it was kind of declining. So I have a little bit bigger one upstairs that's doing well now. Hoya flagellata. She is pretty, and I showed you in the short before that she's growing me some weird foliage that has like 2 leaves. And it's continued on 1, 2, 3 nodes so far. So I don't know, that's what she's doing. So I'm gonna let her do her thing. And I have another little cutting of Hoya flagellata. She is pretty. She's very interesting to me, and she's pretty splashy. So this is Hoya main guy. That was a gift from my friend, and she's doing well, although we had quite a few starts and stops, I guess, and I had to reroot her a few times. But she's doing good. She's growing me new vine, and there is some new leaves coming up, so I might cut this little piece, this leaf, and propagate it so it's not looking kind of funky. This one right here, I should get a stool. I'm too short, you guys. Hold on. Now I feel a little bit taller. So right here is Hoya AH21. She is so pretty. I think I have one cutting right now in my Etsy shop, and I can make more, you guys, or I think I already made more. They're just rooting. Very pretty Hoya, has a little bit of splash and very veiny, and it feels a little bit fuzzy on the back of the foliage. And right here, Hoya UT EPC 847. So she's pretty. She has really big veiny foliage, and she's growing me a vine right here. So then what do I have? I have a Hoya Sarawak. You know, you guys, I love this Hoya so much, and here is the new foliage on it. Very pretty. There's another one. Very big, pretty foliage. I can probably cut this top part and root it for you guys, but I do have a few cuttings that's not as pretty yet. So I'm gonna get rid of those first, I think, and they will get just as pretty as this Hoya right here. So next one, oh, almost dropped it. Next one I have is Hoya anacoides. Very, very pretty foliage, very dark long thick foliage on this Hoya. It's still pretty small because at some point I just chopped her up and I have a few cuttings. I think as of right now I have just one on Etsy, but she is pretty and she's growing. These are newest leaves I got just recently. Next one right here is Hoya latifolia, and it's a green form. I wanted just the green one, but she's kind of splashy, you guys, especially like this leaf right here. She's becoming pretty splashy for me, and this is completely new leaf. And what I find with Hoyas, splash appears later as they mature. Another one I have here is Hoya carrii splash. Not as splashy, but some leaves are actively growing. And next one right here is Hoya waimenii. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but she is beautiful, and it's so funny. I have her for quite some time, and she's not small Hoya at this point, and there's two vines. One is going this way and one is going this way. And I always forget to show you this Hoya, guys. I don't know why. And this girl is really, really fuzzy. And you can see there's some stressing on the leaves, but she's fuzzy on both sides. Very soft, very velvety. And I have Hoya canadiana albomarginata. We also had kind of rough start for quite some time. I have her for a while. So, but she's doing well now. She's growing me beautiful leaves. She is variegated on the edges. It's all white variegation there. And the vine, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. But the vine goes all the way to the top there. I don't want to blind you with the lights, but it goes all the way to the top of the trellis. Looks like we are on good terms now. And right here I have a Hoya rigida care. She is cute. She's doing well. She's starting to get splashy for me, and she's been growing a vine right here, a new leaf right here, and another new leaf. So she's doing pretty good. Next one I have is Hoya glabra. So this one has just 3 leaves right now. She's just working on the vine, and I do have another one upstairs. And right here I have a Hoya balaensis splash. She is getting big, and I have another plant upstairs, but the foliage is so pretty. She kind of starts out with the smaller foliage. So if you ever see me listing a small foliage, it's okay. The next foliage will start growing pretty large. This one compared to this one, I mean, it's definitely a huge difference, and this foliage gets pretty big. She has a long vine right here. She ends right here. And right here, I love this Hoya, you guys. This is Hoya Ricardo. This is completely new leaf. It's still very soft. Look how big this foliage is, and she gets really nice splashing on it. Here's another large foliage right here. But she also, the same way, she starts out kind of small, and then she starts growing larger leaves. I have a few around because I love this Hoya, and one of them I feel like I need to chop it up and share with you guys. So I guess I will start on that pretty soon once I have space here to root more. Here's another Hoya carrii splash. This one has a little bit more splash, and I think I might chop her up too. And here's another carrii. I don't think it's a splashy one, but this is still sulfur splash that I just never washed off this Hoya. I don't know what to do with this one. Maybe chop it up, get rid of it also. Oh, and right here I have my little begonia boomer. I don't know. I just propagated her a while ago, and she's just sitting here really doing just her thing, I guess. Right here, this is the tray you guys going to love, and I made a mess on my plants because I almost dropped this carrii, so it spilled all of the stuff all over. But right here, you guys, that's what you guys seem to love the most, which I do too. It's my favorite Hoya, you know that. But this is my Hoya carnosa Crimson Queen snowball. Last 2 weeks I've been posting some, and they just get sold out as I'm posting them, literally. So this is all I have left of the pretty foliage. I believe there's 16 plants here. So I'm gonna try to list them, some of them today for you guys. And I think another half I'll list it next Thursday. So if you guys don't get your hands on it, keep an eye on it next Thursday, because literally that's all I have. One more thing I want to mention about this Hoya right here, you guys. If you got one of my Hoyas, if you see on a tag, there's a name and all that, but if you see on a tag either in the front or the back number 1, that's not part of the name of the plant. This is just to let me know and let you guys know this is my clone number 1, so I don't confuse them and sell you guys different clone, which you know I have, but I feel like this is the prettiest one. So 16 plants here. If you guys want them, look out for them because they went really fast. And make sure, if you're watching my videos and if you guys my subscribers, make sure to use my discount code. It's Elena's Friend, and it's for 10% off. It's exclusively for you guys, and I did not put expiration date as of now because I want to do something for you guys, and I feel like offering discount exclusively for you, that's a nice thing to do. So if you guys buying my plants, you can use this code multiple times. Moving on to next tray, we're kind of gonna go faster here, otherwise we'll be here all day and I still have to water all these plants and list some plants, I guess. So, but I have a Hoya Dake right here. This is Kalimantan Kelting right here, another cutting. There is another one, so just a few of each. This Polystachia Blum. This one is so pretty, you guys. I love this Hoya so much. This is Hoya Vietnam AH001. I have a bigger plant upstairs, and I have 2 nodes here, which I will probably cut and share with you guys. Right here, I have another tray of Hoyas, and they are cute. There is Gunangating right here. I chopped up my gray ghost because we are not getting along. It's never really grown for me since I got it. Again, that's what happens when you get a bad clone. Here is another Hoya balayensis Splash, still smaller foliage, but not as small as the ones I showed you previously. Here's another one. See, they start out pretty small sometimes. And here is one little Hoya I got a while ago. It's Hoya bantokensis. I think I'll show it to you guys when I make a video for some new Hoyas that I acquired a while ago. Here is another tray. I have lots of them, as you could tell. Like, they're all uniform trays because I don't know, I have OCD. So, but there is more beautiful Hoyas right here. This is Wilbur Graves. Here is Forbesii Splash, working on some new leaves. This is Kudata Sumatra, I believe, and she has a like really long vine. Right here I have another Hoya Aliona. Somebody was lucky enough and got one of them that I listed, and here's another one that I have, and she's beautiful, also dark foliage. Another Wilbur Graves, and here's another one. Still figuring it out how to maintain the splash, because some leaves are very splashy and some leaves are not, but these two, they were in a lower light for a while, and I feel like that's when they grew me lower splash foliage, so I moved them here. I have a little Hoya elliptica right here, and just more plants. I'm not gonna show you this one last tray because those are the Hoyas I need to make video about. Those are the Hoyas that I purchased a while ago for myself. That was my wish list Hoyas for a long time, so that's a whole another video. Right here I have a tray of everything that's been sold or it's still listed, so a lot of these guys gonna leave my house on Monday. So basically anything that I've listed and sold just goes in here, so I don't confuse and ship you wrong plant by accident. So right here is another Hoya AH021, so pretty. I have one on Etsy, pretty good size, beautiful Hoya. I guess there's one more I can put out there. So this is Silver Lady. I have just one cutting here. I have a bigger plant upstairs, and I might actually get rid of her completely. And another one is Mutation from Decade, species 514. This, guys, this Hoya is so pretty. It has this matte foliage. It's thinner foliage Hoya, and it has some splash on it. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is another Hoya, which I'll show you in a video of my new Hoyas, I guess, that I got a while ago. It's funny, I'm not really sure what this is because I ordered Hoya undulata from them and they sent me this. It's not a Hoya undulata. They gave me possible name for it. So I'm not sure what they sent me, but it is pretty. These are the new leaves that I have, and there's another one coming up. And this is the original leaf that they sent me. It's kind of but then new ones start coming out. I'm like, I kind of like this. And they're very silver splash, very pretty. This is just a cutting of Hoya rubra right there that I have. I chopped up my big one and I will show you why. Here's another tray that I actually have to chop some of them up. This is New Guinea Ghost right here. She is big, and I actually have a pretty large plant right now upstairs in my dining room, which I will show you pretty soon. I'll make a tour of my dining room. But I had 2 rooted cuttings and they were sold pretty fast, so I can actually cut up this whole plant and make more cuttings for you guys. Another one right here that I want to share is Hoya incristata Moonshadow. She is very pretty. I do have a larger plant upstairs, and the vine goes up to here, so I can make some cuttings and share. Let me know if you guys would like something like this. She is pretty, but her variegation appears later. It's kind of weird. So as you could see, the new leaves right here, they're kind of green. You can see a little bit of variegation there, but then it becomes brighter like this. So it's kind of in the reverse, I guess, but that's what she does. There is more, some of the Hoyas here. What is this? Hoya parasitica 003. I can cut up her and share with you guys too. Beautiful Hoya. And right here is Hoya fungi. She is big. I should cut her up too, because who needs that many? Next I have this latifolia here in her variegated. She used to be known as macrophylla. She is very pretty, but I think I don't need three of those plants. So I'm gonna cut up. Let me know if you want those. Another gunangating. I have quite a few of those. I have pretty good luck with them. This is another Hoya Ricardo, another gunangating, crazy long vine. And here is some Calistophyllus short leaf. Apparently they are kind of rare right now. I don't know why, but they are. And I feel like when the whole Hoya craze, everybody was obsessed with that Hoya. And I got her so many years ago, and now I chopped her up to pieces so I can share. And there is some small foliage Hoyas there, more Kalinas and Rebeccas. Right here, you guys. We're getting to the end, I think. Oh, so and right here, that's where all my propagation boxes go. So I have usually 4 of them going. So these are just a bunch of little cuttings there that's rooting right now. This is my huge rubra that I rerooted. I'll show you guys at some point why I had to chop her up. She was so gorgeous, and she's probably ready to come out. I can see there is roots in the cup. So I can free up this one more box so I can make all of those cuttings for you. So right here on this shelf, I have Hoya caudata Sumatra. She is pretty. I don't know how I bought 1 node cutting and end up with 3 plants now. So gonna have to cut some of those up. Hoya elliptica. Again, started out with 1 node cutting, and here we go. I have 1 plant right here, just, you know, pretty much to the top of the trellis right here, the vine. And here is another one, which is foliage is a little bit more bleached out. I had her under the lights right here, so it's just receiving too much light and I don't like the color of the foliage, so I moved her here. So here's more cuttings, you guys, that I'm gonna share. When I tell you guys I have a lot, I have a lot, and I really need to downsize all of this cuttings. So right here is more. Here is verticillata, formerly known Acuta Splash. It's a heart-shaped leaves and it's EPC 973. She is absolutely gorgeous. Love her. I will list some more cuttings of that, and I believe I still have one larger cutting on Etsy. Calistophylla short leaf. Another one, the heart-shaped one. Another latifolia here. Here is more cuttings, you guys. So many. Here is another tray. Just bunch of plants. And right here on this shelf, the last tray, there is still more of my Carnosa snowball cuttings, but this tray is just not a pretty foliage yet, so I'm just gonna keep them around until I get newer, prettier foliage, and then I'll make better cuttings. So these guys might go out next spring for you guys because I don't need that many, and I still have mother plant, but I did chop her up to make cuttings for you, although I really did not want to chop her. I will show you when I go upstairs after this and show you the mother plant and tell you why I had to chop her up. But lucky for you, you guys gonna have a bunch of those beauties now. So it seems to be everybody's favorite. So right here, this tray doesn't fit anywhere anymore, so just sitting on the floor. Here's another Hoya rotundiflora and Hoya viola. I'm actually gonna have a bunch of cuttings for you. They are in one of those boxes somewhere, but I actually chopped her up and gonna share them. Here's another rotundiflora when I'm gating. This one is Hoya neoibutica. I can actually make some cuttings too, and she has pretty long vines now. And I should probably loop them around the trellis. So it's just sitting here on the floor. When I bought her, she was one node cutting, not a pretty foliage. She wasn't doing well for a while. And finally she's growing me gorgeous leaves. They're very dark, very green. And obviously in a brighter light, they would be much lighter green. So that one I probably want to kind of chop it up and restart. I would save myself one node and restart the whole plant so it's not this chaotic with different type of foliage. So another one I have right here is another Hoya caudata sumatra. Have some splash, very pretty. Again, I don't know, I have a few of those around the house now. Need to chop it up and share. And right here, and I believe this is the last one I want to show you, is the pretty large cutting of my Hoya lacunosa snow caps. She is pretty, and you guys know I had the really big plant of that, and unfortunately mealybugs decided that they're gonna eat it, so I had to put a huge plant basically in the trash. Thankfully I had some cuttings that I took before infestation, so these are completely healthy different cuttings. So now I have a lot smaller plant, and I have one more upstairs that I saved, and this was one of my first Hoyas I ever acquired, and I actually have a short that I filmed, I think sometime during the winter, how my plant looked when I discovered infestation and before I tossed it in the trash. I will post that video. I should have done it in the winter, but I didn't. But still have it somewhere. I'll find it, I'll post it. It was pretty sad story, but at least I have some cuttings. And right here I put this little tracks to hang more Hoyas, which I probably should do. And maybe bring some from upstairs here, but I like to see them upstairs. And I have another track right here, you guys. Oh, and I should probably show you a setup. So I have a grow light right here. It's pretty big panel right here, so it's kind of taking care of this corner. I have two Barina T5 grow lights right here. They're long strips and they work amazingly here for me. I have a fan right here. I turned it off just because camera picks up the fan sound and it's very annoying. And I have another one right here. I have a little heater here, which I absolutely love. Have it from the day I bought the grow tent and it still works amazing. And that's what you guys hear it right now. It's not too loud, but you can hear it. I have a moisture meter here. And right here I don't really have grow lights, which I don't really need it because some Hoyas don't necessarily want to be in a bright light, and that's what I'm gonna do, just keep the ones that don't need that here. And all of these shelves, I do have Barina T5 grow lights. I believe they are 2 feet long, so I have them under each shelf. So right here, and I also have them right here. That is shining on my propagation boxes, and I do have heat mats right here. There's 3 of them right here under the boxes, so keep them warm so they root much faster. So basically that's my setup here in the grow tent. So here it is, you guys. Not a lot of space, but definitely a lot of plants and little 4x8 box. I think I've showed you everything I got here. And the reason why I wanted to make this video now that you guys buy my Hoya cuttings, I want to show you where I grow them so you know exactly what's going on, where they live before they make it to your house, and how they are taken care of. Love my little space here. So now that we are upstairs, here is my Hoya carnosa snowball, the mother plant, and she is a lot smaller than you guys remember. And if you haven't seen it, I will try to find a photo and put it somewhere here in the corner. So this is what is left of her. She is still absolutely gorgeous. This is a new foliage, still kind of actually see-through, interesting. And this is also new leaf. Variegation is a little bit confused right now. And she's starting new vine right here. I did not want to cut her up, guys. I never have until I think last fall. So what happened is I decided to shower her in my shower. So I overwatered her. So she started declining and I had to just cut her up and restart. So I restarted this whole chunk for myself, so I'm not starting out completely from scratch. But luckily for you guys, I was able to make a ton of cuttings, which they are also very healthy at this point. Now you guys can have the cuttings of my favorite Hoyas in your home, and I hope she will bring you just as much joy as she brings to me all these years later. And she was one of my first Hoyas that I ever acquired, and I still love her. So if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a like, share with your plant friends, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.